Hi everybody, it's Rob Chavez with today's video on how to find shadow inventory in today's market. Everybody's fighting for this inventory on the MLS, and let me tell you, there is a better way. There is a way that the best of us are constantly finding listings, constantly finding properties for our buyers. And I want to share with you some of those tips today on what you can do to help you find your dream home. So tip number one is drive for dollars. Driving for dollars, right? What does that actually mean? Well, there's neighborhoods that I'm sure you're interested in purchasing in. I would encourage you to drive through the neighborhoods and pick up on the clues that somebody might be thinking about selling. What are some of those clues, you ask? Well, somebody painting the outside of their house. Possibly they're doing some yard work. You could see like a construction crew there doing some renovation. Or maybe there's a dumpster out front and people are doing some work. These are all clues that somebody might be thinking about selling. So what do you do when you see that? Well, if you want to be really bold, you can go knock on the door and just say, hey, are you thinking about selling? I'm thinking about buying, right? It's literally as simple as that. Or what you can do is you can write a little letter and says, hey, if you're thinking about selling, I'm interested in buying in this neighborhood. And just leave it there at the property. That's highly, highly effective. A second way that you can drive for dollars is when you see properties that aren't getting any kind of work, right? They're the ones that look like they need some work. They've got maybe some weeds growing in the gutters and maybe the lawn is a little overgrown. This is what investors do a lot of time to compile a very targeted hot seller list of potential future sellers, right? These are sellers that might be thinking about selling, but they just don't have the energy or the money or the time to put into the upkeep of their home. And this is opportunity, right? This is opportunity for you to potentially do the same thing, knock on the door or leave a letter and just pose the question, hey, if you're considering selling, I'm interested in buying in this neighborhood. So that's what we call driving for dollars. Highly, highly effective. And actually, I was out doing that today, right? I was out doing that today to find another little riverfront home that I'm interested in purchasing. Okay, that's besides the point. Tip number two is contacting the listing agents that carry the most inventory in the market. You see, 90% of all the real estate is sold by 10% of the agents that are out there. It's typically these larger teams like ours that do a lot of volume, are listing-based, listing-focused teams, and they have inventory that's months in advance. Sometimes we sign listing agreements 6, 7 months, 12 months before they ever go on the market because we're either going to get the work done, we're coordinating contractors, and many times those sellers would consider selling if somebody came along and gave them the right price for their house. So contacting the best listing agents out there is tip number two. Tip number three is contacting agents that specialize in pre-foreclosure homes, right? Pre-foreclosure meaning short sales or even, REOs, right? You don't see a lot of the REO business out there right now, but we suspect that more and more of that will come on the market. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of pre-foreclosure properties that come on the market that never go to the bank. They'll be sold well before they actually go to auction because those properties carry a lot of inventory right now. But a lot of equity right now, not inventory. They carry a lot of equity. Unlike 2007, 2008, where these properties started going into pre-foreclosure and there was very little to zero equity, right? So pre-foreclosure agents, REO agents, those are agents that you want to contact and find out what they have coming on the market. Tip number four is talking to your agent and giving them very specific instructions on the type of home and the neighborhood that you're interested in buying it, and then having them actually go out and do the work, right? Having them go drive for dollars, having them call those particular sellers, having them do all the heavy lifting specifically for you. Now, I find that most agents are not equipped to do this because they're driving their other buyers around or working with their sellers. That's why, again, it pays to work with a larger team because many of those larger teams have inside sales departments whose only job is to find inventory for their buyers. So those are the tips on how to find the shadow inventory in today's market. Make it a great day. Take care.